Good afternoon, everyone. As you are coming into the room, please make sure that your microphones are muted and that you have your name or the name of your business displayed on your screen. And you can also drop your business information in the chat if you'd like. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. My name is Alexis Fox. I'm the Marketing and Training Manager here at the SBDC at FIU. And we have a really amazing webinar for you all brought to us by one of our amazing consultants, Miss Adriana Madrinan, on selling smarter and taking your business to the next level through farmers markets. Now, before we begin, if this is your first time interfacing with us, we do want to let you know a little bit more about what we do here at the SBDC.
At Florida SBDC at FIU Business, our mission is simple: to help Miami-Dade and Keys businesses grow and succeed. Our consulting, training, and information services make it easier for local businesses to reach their potential. Whether you're currently in business or just starting out, Florida SBDC at FIU has the right tools, resources, and expertise to help you succeed. Visit us online or give us a call to connect with one of our business specialists today. At Florida SB.
So as you can see, we offer a wide number of resources, including free consulting and other workshops such as this one. If you're interested in more information, you can always visit us at sbdc.fiu.edu, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to register if you have not already. So before we get into this workshop, I did want to go through a few agreements with you all for before, during, and after. Before we introduce Adriana, I want you to please make sure that your cell phones are silent, make sure that you're open to new ideas and thinking, and to make sure that you subscribe, follow, and share the information that the SBDC is providing you. If you have not, please make sure that you subscribe to our newsletter. It is the best way to find out about different resources and opportunities that we have for you as participants in our programs. You can also follow us on social media, share with your network that you are improving your business by taking workshops and taking advantages of the resources that we provide you here. And then during the workshop, please make sure that you ask any questions and provide feedback where appropriate. You can use the Q&A function in this Zoom to do so, and just be open and eager to learning and collaborating with one another. And at the end, we will have a link for a Google review. We need to know how we're doing so we can provide more opportunities like this for you all. And you'll also take a post-workshop survey. We want to know that the information and topics are helpful to you as small business owners. Okay, and with that, we are going to turn it over to Adriana, and she will share her presentation with you all on marketing yourself in the farmers markets.
Thank you, Alexis. I'm happy to be here with all of you. I will appreciate, since we are not a really big group, I would love for all of you to put what is your business about and why you are interested in this webinar. So today we're going to be talking about marketplaces. I'm going to share my information. I don't know, Alexis, if they want to open the mic, can we hear them or not? Just to know.
Don't believe so. It'll have to be in the chat or through the Q&A function.
Okay. So yes, if you can add what you do so I can also give better examples tailored to your business, I will appreciate what you do, your name, your business, and so I can tailor some the workshop to your needs, okay? So give me 1 second. So if I will wait for you to, okay, Luisa with macaroons, yes. Alexis, can you do me a favor? Can you read? Since I'm only with one screen, can you help me?
Absolutely. So we have here Luisa Palladino with Macaroon Dreams. We have Tina, and she's a home baker of cakes, cupcakes, and cookies.
Okay. Anybody else, or the rest maybe are just learning or are interested? Do you have a business? If you don't have a business, but it's something that you're thinking about, that also will help you. So please let me know. So I'm going to start, and Alexis, please stop me if any of the other participants, Elizabeth, Ricardo, or Laura, want to share what they're doing, if they're starting a business, or the reason they're here today. So we are talking. Yes, go ahead.
Martin, I want to find out what opportunities the farmers market have for a disabled veteran. Interesting.
Okay, that was Laura.
That was Ricardo. Thank you for your service.
Ricardo. Thank you, Ricardo.
Elizabeth
Okay.
James does Elizabeth James at Samaj Products.
What are the products, Elizabeth? If you can share what type of product. So today we're going to talk about farmers market, and how you can do it smarter and take your business through to a next level, because it's another channel. So remember, we can sell through different things. We can sell directly to consumers. We can sell business to business. We can use our Instagram to sell. We can use our own store. But always a channel that is sometimes very good to test, because it allows us to know how much people accept our products and how much they like it, is farmers markets, okay? So since we are a small group, please stop me whenever you want. My name is Adriana Madrinan. I'm a business consultant at SBDC at FIU, and I work on strategic business growth, business models, and innovation. So today I'm going to cover the types of farmer markets so you understand what to know before selling your products, some key questions to ask when you are trying to start at a market with the managers, some common questions you will get from your customers, and how to find nearby farmer markets, okay? So any of you is currently selling in a farmer market? Luisa or Tina or Elizabeth, are you selling in a farmer's market? Please let me know. Let me see. The thing is, okay, finally I can see my screen. Okay. Okay. So I see now the different products. Elizabeth has some nuts and dry fruits. Perfect. Okay. So since none of you are already there, so this will be just a good guide. And at the end, I will give you a summary that you can keep with you for the moment you decide to go into a farmer's market. So what is a farmer's market? By the dictionary, okay? Because there are many types of farmer's market. It's a public recurring assembly of farmers or their representatives. Why it says assembly of farmers is because farmers markets started with group of farmers getting together to sell their products. Okay, it has evolved in different ways of farmers markets, but we will see in a minute. Selling food produced directly to consumers. And typically it features one or two more farms vendors. That's why the name of farmers market. And it's usually located at a common recurrent physical location. So the farmers market really grew until it really increased from 94 to 2019. And it was growing 7% a year. Then in 2011, even though it has a little dip in 2011, but it also sparked again with the pandemic, okay? So what are the types of farmers market? And this is important to know depending on the product you offer and to find different opportunities, because probably you Google farmers market and you can find a lot of information, but not all farmers markets are for your products and services. So to understand the farmers market, what makes them different is the type of market, the products they sell, and the audience they bring together. Okay, so let's see. So the first one will be the traditional farmers market. An example of that one is the Coconut Groves Farmers Market, where you mainly see a lot of fruits, vegetables, and stands. They prepare foods, and they have some artisanal products, okay? That's a very traditional. Traditional farmers markets are open-air markets with multiple vendors. They are usually held either over the weekends or they have a specific day of the week. They sell directly to consumers. They offer, as I say, a variety of produce, baked goods, and artisanal products, and they are located in a common physical place. So that's the common definition of the traditional. We also have what is called, the Bee Heaven Farms. And the name, it comes because they used to sell bee products. So that's why it's called like that. Even though now maybe they sell more products, it was born because they could sell honey and other products. So there's one in Homestead. So it's a community-supported agriculture market. Here, the little difference, as you can see, I put in the picture someone with the honey because it started like that, even though nowadays it has changed. The difference is that it's usually a subscription-based model. That means that the clients pay a subscription, and it's usually created by a single farm or a group of farms. You pay in advance with this subscription model, and you get whatever is harvesting. So you go and you get weekly, maybe a box of the different deliveries. You know, it could be fruit, vegetables, even honey and other products. So lately, I mean, you can find also eggs and cheese, but it's like you pay a fee and you receive a box with what was produced that week. The other ones are the pop-ups or open air markets. And even though this is not the best example, but it was the one that I could bring pictures. It used to be a pop-up, now is on all the time, is the Winwood Marketplace. So pop-ups is when they open and they close, or there are certain time of the year. Like I know, for instance, I live in Broward, and in the, what is called, the States, there's an open market that comes only in the winter months. So that would be a pop-up. So they open and close, but they're not fixed. They feature local vendors, they sell food, crafts, art, and many times they host event and music. Maybe even though it's temporary, is attached to urban areas, and sometimes they do more flexible than traditional markets. They sell other products, clothing, and sometimes they even have concerts and other things attached. There are also the ones that are for specific seasons, like the pumpkin patch. You know, when we are close to Halloween, all these pumpkin growers open their markets, and they allow other vendors to come, or they only sell their own products. Okay, so usually it's as very niche. Even the holidays, we can see a farmers market just for the holidays, or Mother's Day, or specific events. So even though it says harvest seasons, it was traditional harvest season, but it could be also for special moments of the year. Okay, so in this chart, I have summarized for you to make it easy to understand. So as I say, you really need to understand if you are going to talk to someone that is in a traditional farmer's market, more in the one that is for subscription, the pop-up, or the seasonal. So the structure, as you can see, is different. That, like the traditional is multiple vendors. The one that is by subscription is one or just a few farms. The pop-up could vary. And the seasonal sometimes are multiple vendors, sometimes it's just one. The timing is very formal with the traditional. With the one that is by subscription is basically for the season. The pop-up, as I say, is only for special moments of the year, the same that seasonal. In payments, remember, we pay for visit except the one that we pay up front with the subscription and we get our box of food. And the product, of course, depending, some are more focused, like the seasonal and the one that we pay by subscription. And the involvement, of course, it varies. When I get a box every week, we are more committed than others, okay? So how can we prepare to sell a farmer's market? Because now we know there are different styles, but how can you prepare? It's very important to know that you need some paperwork. And Ricardo, I don't have specific information about if they have benefits for disabled veterans, but that's something you can ask specifically when you visit the markets. They could have claims or that they can accommodate to you, or they have discounts, but that will be one by one. Some things that is common for all of them. So usually, at least you need to have your legal requirements on place. So you need to have either an incorporated business or a fictitious name. That is a doing business as. That means that even though that you are registering zombies, either through a business that you have created or you have acquired a name that you can use on your behalf. That's a doing business as. That you have paid taxes if you have been in service already selling. The federal taxes, the state taxes, and the city and county taxes and fees. And they may ask that you have all the paperwork in order. Other permits they may ask, for instance, vary depending on the products. If you are working with food, probably the health department and approvals as it may be necessary. And for you, Luisa and Tina, and definitely Elizabeth, if you are producing from home and you are under the cottage law, it's very important that you have the right cottage law label. If you don't know how to do it or you have questions, let me know at the end of the webinar and I will give you a couple of pages that you can review to do that, even though some information is included in all of this, but I can give you more information, okay? Also, many of these farmer markets may request liability or product liability insurance. The other part that is very important is the packaging. So depending if you sell cottage law or you sell wholesale, definitely the use of the safe packaging, how you handle the food, the labels have to have, of course, if you are wholesale, but also if you have cottage, your labels should have the name, the weight, and especially the business name and the address. For organic products, of course, you need to have the certification if you're going to claim that you are organic. If you're thinking, how can I price my products? One of the recommendations is search for competitors to really understand, but to really understand how much you can price your product. Of course, if you have value added, it's different. But it's good to know what people are selling and what is the average price of similar products, even substitute products. Also, make sure that whenever you sell, it covers all the costs. So being in a farmer's market, in many cases, you need to pay like a rental fee of your tent or the table. So you need to make sure that that also for sure, whatever you sell is gonna cover that space, your transportation, the product, the packaging, and everything you do. You can also create deals to encourage sales. Because remember, there are only 3 ways to increase your sales. The first one is when you increase prices. So if you charge more, your revenue is higher, okay? The second one will be to sell more to more people your current product or service. But the third one is that the people that already buy from you buy more. So if you create these bundle deals, that means that you can leverage, like increase the ticket price. Especially if you are close to Mother's Day, or yeah, maybe you can create family packages where the size is better. So you can always think on how maybe people are willing to pay a little bit more and get your products and services. It's important that you check what the market is providing. Some provide the space, some provide tables or canopies, some don't provide just the space. So it's important that you know what equipment you need, like tables, the canopy, the cash box is important. And then the scale or the signs, how you present. For the display, I really encourage you to design how the product is presented, because even though you receive maybe a table, think how you can develop it vertically, not only to use the table, but use those displays that help you elevate your product and show it nicely, how you use it or how you combine it or how you decorate it. So it's very important. It's very important to stay organized. So to know in which order you are going to attend your clients, how you're going to keep control of the amount of product, or if you're giving samples, how you're going to do it, and engage your customers. Maybe the first times you visit a market, you may need people to let you try your product. Later, once they know you, maybe it's not that much needed, but always trial could be a good option. So let's say you look for the market, you already know what you need, you have all the paperwork. So now what questions to ask during the negotiation? So it's important to know the operations of that market. So what are the hours? So from what time it opens and what time it closes, and the frequency of operation. There are many clients that have worked with me, for instance, that they agree to the hours and then the summer comes and they say, you know what? No, that's too hard for me. I cannot continue. So it's important that you know how long it is, where it's going to be, the hours, or maybe it's far away and you need to get too early. So that's very important that you consider. How do you handle a vendor application and the selection? So ask when you need to submit the vendor application, how they select if you can come or not, what is the elements that make the decision. Also, what resources do they provide? We say not only the canopy or the table, but do they market the marketplace? Do they they promote each of the stands of the marketplace? So all of that is important to ask. So how they promote it, how they attract customers, maybe that's some ways you can connect to those promotions too. Also, what are the rules, regulations, and to connect with the community? So what specific rules they have for vendors, and if there's any insurance requirements for the vendors. Remember that usually it's a liability insurance, and a liability insurance, if you don't have it, sometimes it's not expensive. If you describe for what it is, and maybe you have a car, you can call the same company that you have a car and they may help you. But it's important that they will ask you for what is the insurance, how you're going to use it, what type of products you have. The community engagement is important to also tell you the community around the market activity. So it's not only what the market is going to do for the people that are coming, you can do it too, but also it's important that you connect with the community. So if they have meetings before the marketplace, or if they have post meetings, or go and talk to your neighbors. If you go to markets many times when they have been there for a while, they know each other and they help each other. It's like, do you need this? Yes, go to this place and they will help you. So it's important that you connect to the people. Also ask how they have strategies for have diversity among vendors. And that could be something, Ricardo, a question that you can ask. If they have any diversity among vendors and if they can help disabled veterans. Also, if there is a conflict or you need feedback of the future plans, it's important to ask those questions. So how do they collect feedback from vendors and customers? Maybe somebody has a claim, or you have something to, like you want to ask for something, or you want to make a suggestion how you do it. What changes have been made based on the feedback. If you have a conflict or dispute between vendors, how it's solved, and what are the goals of the market? That's very important. Is it to help the community? Is it to grow more? What is it? So you really understand if that market is aligned also with your goals and values. What are some common questions you will get from customers? This is more for food vendors, but for those that are not only selling food, you can see how you can adapt it. So if it's fresh food, probably they want to know where it's produced, or the ones that are cottage law, also how do you produce it? Do you produce it at home, or are you in a commercial kitchen? If it's fresh, if you grow or raise those products, and if it's a product that's gonna be only for a season or for a while in the market. Also, they can ask you about if you are saying, they may ask you if it's fresh food, if it's organic or not, and what methods you use. How do you store and prepare them for you? Tina, Luisa with your macaroons, or Tina with the home cakes, it's important that you are ready, that people could ask that. And if it's fresh food, when was this harvested? Also, they may ask for price and deals. So if you offer discount when they buy a bigger amount of the product, if your prices are higher or lower than the supermarket or than your website, if you accept credit cards or cash. So what are your payment terms? That also very important. And sometimes it's better that you have a little sign with the correct QR codes and ways to help them decide quickly. The easier you give options for payment, the easiest is for them to pay. So sometimes we don't sell because we put many barriers in our sales funnel. We need to let people to know us. We need to let people to choose among what we have. We need to let people to try it, and then to buy it and to pay it easily. And then to feel that they live with this beautiful package, that they feel committed to come back. So all these parts of the sales funnel, we need to work on it. So how can you find a farmer's market near you? So to make it easy, because this is a lot of content, if you scan the QR code, and I'm going to show it in a minute, I have created a page. I'm going to show it in a minute. Just let me give me 1 second. Let me finish here. Scan the QR code. Let me finish that. I only have one slide, and I will take you to this page. Yes. Oh, this is the final one. So yeah, I have created a whole page that I'm going to show to you now. Let me share it. Okay. So you're going to see this page when you use your QR code, and it will take you, you're taking, let me view site. Let me open it in this site so you can see it the way, I can share it the way you will see it. Let me share it again. Okay. So the way you will see it is a page that has different pages inside. But for instance, is all the summary about this presentation, the timeline for preparing to sell a farmer's market. If you click there, it will give you a guide what to do 6 to 12 months before. So to choose 3 to 6 months, 2 to 3 months before, 1 month before, 1 week before. So you have really an action plan. If you want to go to market, here is all the details you know, okay? You can even go to the links and find the place, the permits and licenses, the food certifications, develop a product plan, so the payment system. So it has a lot of information, okay? And this is your action plan. If this is something you want to do, you have an action plan here. Then you can go back to your main page. Then the key questions for farmer markets managers, all the questions we talk, they are here, so you don't forget the questions you need to ask. And then you can go back to the main page. And common questions for your customers, the same ones that we discussed, are here. And then if I put also a last page with relevant sources. So some links that would take you to farmers market, Florida fresh markets, permits. I wanted to go here. Oh, okay. For all of you that cook at home, it's important that you follow the cottage law. So here is the link that will take you to that information. And yeah, depending what you sell, you need to check all these links. But I have provided all of that. Let me go back to the timeline because I wanted to go deeper on that. So 6 to 12 months before, you should choose your farmer's market. Then really conduct a feasibility. So that means that go to the community, understanding the community like your products and services. If you talk to someone that sells in a fresh market, they may tell you, I sell better in this location than in this location. Not all the locations, people are interested in the same products. So you can engage and ask and do, like we will do a market research like any other business. 3 to 6 months before, understand what are the legal requirements of the location you want to obtain the permits. If you haven't registered your business, register in Zombies and decide what products you want to sell. You may not want to bring everything. You may want to bring what is really appropriate for the time of the year and the community. 2 to 3 months before, you can start preparing the booth setup and the equipment. And you can start creating the marketing material so you can promote that you're going to be there. 1 month before, sometimes more, depending on the market, finalize the application and plan the inventory and pricing. So you're very sure how much are you going to bring, how much are you going to charge. 1 week before, all the logistics and setup. And then gather the supplies, and the day of the first day, don't forget to arrive early and engage with customers and other suppliers. So I'm going to stop here to see if you have any questions and if I can help you in any way. Yeah, Luisa, but I think you have to type it, Luisa, either in the Q&A or in the chat.
Yes, please type in the Q&A or the chat function, and we will share your questions with Adriana.
And if anybody else has questions. Marcelo, let me know if you have a product and if you have been in a farmer's market, because all the other already shared with me.
Mhm. Thank you, Louisa. So Louisa said that she just wanted to mention that some market prices vary from $50 to $250 per day. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Luisa. Yes, they vary. And also by not only by market, but by season. I forgot to mention that. So thank you, Luisa, for the clarification. For instance, the weekends close to the holidays or Mother's Day, they may charge more. So just be aware of that. Any other question or comment? Yes, Laura. So cottage law, you can produce up to $250,000 from your home. The thing is, you cannot cook every single product. It has some requirements. So I'm gonna give you, let me open, I like this page that is very summarized, even though you should look at the one that I'm sending, that it was included in the Notion page. So, I'm gonna give you another page that I like that is very summarized. Let me open it so I can help you in detail, because this one I really like. Let me open the Florida. Be aware that the cottage law is different by state. So let's say if you can if you are offering cottage law food, you cannot sell your food in another state. That's very important. Let me try. I'm open. Yeah, this is the page. I'm gonna put it in the chat, a link, so you can see all the details later. But I'm gonna share the page for all of you because I see that I have many of you working cottage law. So let me put the link first in the chat and I'll open it. I'm sorry, I'm with only one screen and sometimes that makes it. Okay, let me put it here for everyone. Okay. So let me share the page. Yeah, tell me, Alexis.
Ricardo had a question. Is there a website that we can purchase products from farmers market at a good price?
Honestly, Ricardo, very good question, and I don't know. I don't know if anybody in the group knows, but I'm not sure I can find. So Luisa, he's asking if anybody knows a website that sells market foods products. And honestly, that's a very good question. Nobody has asked me that. Growers and farms? No, but if you leave the email in the chat, I'll try to find and get back to you.
We also have a question from Marcelo. As the owner of a coffee company, what do I need for a coffee cart?
Okay, hold that question. I'm going to show the page that I offered to the cottage law, and we will go into the coffee. So this is the Forager cottage food page. The reason I like is that it's very summarized. You also have to go to the official cottage law page, which you have the link here. But it's very clear that you can produce up to $250,000 non-perishable foods per year from your home. But when you go here, it will tell you what to sell, what food are allowed, the limitation, labeling, resources, all of that. So here it tells you, so where can you sell? You can sell it in events, in farmer markets, from your home, online, and roadside stands. But you can only deliver, home pickup, and mail order. You cannot sell to restaurants. You cannot sell to hotels. So here it says, prohibited, restaurants, retail stores, Hotels, no. You cannot do catering. You cannot do wholesale. What is allowed? So here it tells you bagels, breads. If you stand up in the breads, it will tell you. You can sell basic breads, but does not include sweet breads. You cannot have zucchini, banana bread, focaccia bread. So it's very important that you know you can sell brownies, cake. So it's very important that you follow this. So you know donuts does not include donuts that have fillings. So this will be a very good guide for you to know what you can do or not. Candies, chocolate. So I really recommend you follow this carefully and you open each point that has information. So you really know. So for instance, someone is asking about coffee beans. Only included dry roasted coffee beans. Does not include freshly brewed coffee. Okay? You cannot produce it from home. You can pack the others, the beans. So the tamales and empanadas, for instance, it cannot include fruit or meat. So I really recommend you follow this carefully. Prohibited foods are perishable baked goods, barrel cream frosting, acidified foods. You know, so it's very, very important that you open the page and you follow all the details. It will also show you limitations here. It will also show you what should be included on your label, and it has a very good example of a label here. And yeah, and other resources. So here will take you to the official Florida Department of Agriculture. Here is all the links. So keep that link that I sent you. It will really help you. So regarding the coffee cart, I don't know who asked that question. Marcelo, was it?
Yes, it was Marcella.
So Marcelo, we are talking about farmer markets. You will have to follow, if it's a farmer's market, you will have to follow the same structure that I read. And you will have to ask if they accept a coffee cart. If it's another location like a mall or, yeah, then you will have to ask the specific instructions of them. Okay. Any other questions? So don't forget to follow. Let me put again the last slide. So you open the QR code and then you can keep all that information that you will use. And you will need when you decide to go to a fresh market, okay? Any other questions or comments? No? So feel free if you have more questions or you want more detailed support, we are consultants here. The service is free for you. We get funded by the government, but our service is free for small businesses. So please register with the SBDC. We will be more than happy to work with you and solve your specific and personal questions regarding your business. Thank you very much for coming. And Alexis, thank you very much.
Thank you, Adriana. Again, we will be sharing the slides for this presentation and the resources for you to continue to connect with Adriana outside of this workshop, as well as providing you with the presentation in and of itself. So you will get a copy of this for you to review, to apply. And if you have any questions or want to meet with Adriana, you can use the links that Lauren has provided in the chat. We do ask that before you all go, that you please take our survey. Tell us how we did on this workshop. If you found the information useful, if there are other topics that you would like to see covered, this is the best way for us to hear directly from you in regard to the resources that we provide. So please take a moment to do that. And Lauren has provided that link in the chat for you all. And as you continue to do that, we do again want to thank you so much for your time and thank Adriana again for providing all of the insights and information. There's a lot of good things for you all to take away from today and hopefully apply to your businesses. And I hope that you all have an amazing day. Thank you.
Thank you.